Ah, there you go.
Looks pretty bad down here.
Keeps getting worse, too. It must be raining bullets out there.
The NSF aren't kidding around. How you holding up?
Fine. I lost one of the privates because a refrigeration unit went down. That's always hard.
You've got a lot on your hands. Don't beat yourself up over faulty equipment.
Ah, finally a fresh charge of healing. And a chance to install some cyber legs. Hell yeah! Up to 250 units. Okay, so that's the most we can get out of one before we upgrade our skills.
You might talk to my friend. He's a little down.
I took a few hits tonight. The doc had to operate.
We'll get well soon, soldier.
Yes, sir. I will.
Thanks for talking to my friend. He admires you.
Oh, anytime, gentlemen. You stay safe out there. So yeah, well, we're getting some sense that there's some sinister forces operating within UNATCO. The rank-and-file soldier isn't necessarily in on it. They're out there genuinely doing their best to try to get... Okay. Well, now. This is interesting. Normally you don't get a vision enhancement, a choice between your eye augmentation, until much, much later in the game. Huh. Yeah, we'll install some cyber eyes. Why not? Hell yeah.
Never should have transferred.
Yeah, like we were talking about earlier about the difference between JC and Simons, JC is acted in a very monotone way, but he's not written that way. He has friends, he has opinions about things, he's broadly sympathetic to the goals of the UNATCO and to democracy in general, and will advocate for that point earnestly. It's mostly his delivery that makes him sound flatter than he really is. He absolutely has character and opinions.
Agent Denton, marvelous.
And they can stand at odds with a playstyle.
Mr. Carter, can I ask you a question?
Certainly.
I'm getting the impression that UNATCO is focused more on military operations than law enforcement.
The focus has shifted lately, I agree.
The only way Anna would have been satisfied is if I'd executed every terrorist in Castle Clinton. The standing order seems to be shoot to kill.
Direct intervention is always part of the game. In my day, we were just more civilized about it.
Civilized. That's the word. I guess I was expecting a little more class from the world's anti-terrorist organization.
We just have to strike a balance. Why don't I throw in an extra clip with those multi-tools? I trust you will be able to judge when one or the other is appropriate for achieving mission objectives.
Thank you. So yeah, in addition to getting some getting a little more resources because we didn't execute everybody in Castle Clinton, JC's dialogue actually changed in a subtle but significant way, where he's talking a bit more about how UNATCO is acting more bloodthirsty than he was expecting. Whereas if we had gone in shooting, JC would be enthusiastically talking about how violent and destructive the action at Castle Clinton had been. Another email from Gunther, more about their keeping tabs on us. This is a preview of our mission here. Primary importance in the upcoming operation is recovering all the stolen Ambrosia. However, our best intelligence indicates that Juan Lebedev, a known terrorist leader, is behind this attack. Lebedev poses a continuing threat to UNATCO. If the operation should result in his termination rather than capture, there is no doubt that the agent responsible would be found to have acted appropriately with the full force of the law. Well, you know, she was talking shit about me right in front of the boss. I'm not going to let that stand.
Manderley says only senior staff members can interview the prisoners.
Okay, now here's a little interesting sequence with the prisoners.
I don't think you're supposed to be down here, Agent.
I'm going to pause a little bit so we don't get interrupted by these guys. So yeah, Simons comes down here to interview them, and it is possible for JC to talk to them as well. The catch is that door doesn't normally open. As far as I can recall, there's no key to be found anywhere, and the only thing that lets you get in there with the prisoners and actually easily talk to them is certain mods. Like, I think the revision mod actually makes it so you can, so that the door is code locked that you can go in. So there's actually quite a bit we can talk to about and ask them about, but we need to be able to reach them to do so. However, there is still a way to talk to them if they're close enough to the window. And this is going to get back to Zero. You mentioned last time how it's possible to interact with things through walls and around cover if you can reach its hitbox. So we're going to see if we can still do that here.
I have one question.
They already asked. I don't know.
One must admire a man who can keep a secret because he has value. What you know more than others makes money and gives you a measure of power.
You Walton Simons? You think I
Here
can
we
be
go,
bribed?
yes.
Margaret Forsyth under NSF protection in Queens. Your son Richard attending Bronx
Right
Science.
there,
You see,
I had
I
ya.
have a few relevant facts myself. Care to make a trade?
There.
You wouldn't dare.
I'll give you 2 seconds to decide.
There you are.
Get out of here, Denton. This is none of your business.
I can sum it all up in one
Nice.
word. Self-reliance. That's what we stand for.
How about you tell me where that shipment is being taken?
So yeah, now we get to join
The
in
natural
Simons
assumes
in
that people are
interrogating these
incapable of
guys,
protecting
which
themselves,
normally you can't do.
therefore should submit
Which I think
to
is kind of cool.
surveillance and intimidation by an outside force. We won't do it.
Time's up. Where is the NSF taking the Ambrosia?
They asked me already. I don't know.
I'm going to keep myself
I
trained on this
remind you
one
that
pixel
in
of
the case a
interactability
national
here.
Emergency, FEMA has a list of 6 million Americans who will be transported to detention centers. Your tabloids call it RX-84.
Yeah, including the President, Congress, and the Supreme Court.
In my position, I find it very easy to add names to that list.
Go to hell.
The governments of the world believe an average citizen should not face the threat of terrorism alone.
We don't need your help. The technology exists today for an individual to protect his property against explosives, firearms, surveillance, intrusion, contamination.
Get the hell out of here, Denton.
350 million fortresses is not my idea of the land of the free.
It's better than one big fortress constructed by a corrupt government against its people.
The United States government has had emergency powers since World War II. We've never left a state of war.
So yeah, this is actually a pretty
Speak for
fascinating
yourself.
conversation because
Federal
Simons
government
is
is
letting
just
out some not at all
responding to a
veiled
threat.
threats, and these guys
The
are
government should be about more than
revealing some of the
self-perpetuation.
plans of the people
You
he
will
works
confess,
for.
by the way.
We have no way of
I
knowing
don't
this
like
at the
to dirty
time,
my hands with
but
that
these
sort
guys are
of thing,
basically
but
talking on another
enough.
level that JC doesn't know. We think this is
Simple
still about
numbers. Big companies pay like 2%
the
tax.
we
Well,
think
you
this
and
is
me,
still
we pay
about
like
the United
50.
Nations responding
It's
to a
tax
terrorist
code to make
threat.
sure big bureaucracy
But these
gets
two guys
bigger,
know what's
and
really
people
going
have
on.
no
They understand
power.
the forces that
You have
Simon
an assignment
represents,
in
and
New
that's
York,
what they're really
Agent.
struggling
I
against.
expect you to follow orders.
Let's get back to the subject of the missing vaccine.
All taxes are social engineering. That's always been their real purpose.
I'm not gonna stand here and listen to you badmouth the greatest democracy the world has ever known.
America,
What
fuck
happens
yeah!
is that politicians get money from big companies, so all the social
like I said,
engineering is for
JC,
making big companies.
He
Like I
talks
said,
he
it's
talks
simple
in a
numbers.
monotone, but he's very definitely an all-American boy. He
Certain
believes in
intellectual
truth,
properties,
justice, the
aside
American
from the
way.
quantities of vaccine concern me deeply. Has the NSF made any attempt at reverse engineering?
Leave me alone.
A government shouldn't have to occupy its own country with troops. If there wasn't organized
yeah, so there's
oppression,
nothing
there
else,
wouldn't be
no more
organized
conversations
resistance,
with him.
And what you call terrorism would not exist.
If you wanted to save people, you could have unloaded the whole shipment in Manhattan. Or the airlift.
You said it yourself. Secrets are power.
Yeah, they're getting into the real
can lock
reason
me up,
why
but
that
you
the
can't lock up
Ambrosia
the
was
truth.
spirited out of New York, or they're trying to.
We have less civilized ways of making you talk.
That is one of the more chilling lines in the game. That gets to the core of Simon's character. He does not make idle threats.
I am a patient man,
Ask me if I care.
but not that patient. You saw nothing, Denton. Report to the helipad.
Clearly I didn't. Okay. So this is also an interesting preview of Simon's. Normally, like Anna, he
Your
doesn't
turn.
engage his
You can
cloak
find
until
out
he
in
actually takes
Manhattan.
damage. So now he's going to use augmentations in normal combat, which complicates things a fair bit.
I won't say anything, but I think you should go.
I mean, not to spoil that we'll be eventually fighting him or anything, but, you know, hypothetically speaking, if we were to fight him,
They've got
that's
some
a
kind
preview
of
of what
specialist
we're up
from Washington
against.
downstairs. Somebody to interrogate.
Yeah, proud to be an American today.
this one turns out a little better.
Ah. Kitty finally got off your arm? Yeah, I can imagine, Kitty doesn't care much if you go numb holding it. All that matters is whether you are a suitable platform for Kitty.
They told us to hang
Never
tight.
should have transferred.
Objectives remain apparent.
Get on the helicopter, Mr. Denton. Simons did not appreciate your interference.
Oh,
Wish we had
I hurt his
Bento for
feelings. He's gonna tell on us now. Alright, let's drop off the few things we collected. Didn't even get a weapon to put them on. Alright, back on the helicopter, and we're going back to Battery Park. Let's see what kind of time we got. I'll go for another hour, I guess. I'm gonna grab a drink real quick. As soon as we land, I'm gonna pause. We'll take a short break.
We're dropping you in Battery Park. We know the NSF were moving material through here at one point. Seems like a good place to start looking.
Alright, we'll drop a hard save here. I'll be right back. Now, let's get underway here. So yeah, quick recap, because I've been kind of on and off talking over it. So, the whole objective with Take the Warehouse was to drop an EMP field that was protecting where the NSF was actually storing the Ambrosia. But,
I think we
because
scared 'em
Paul
off.
went AWOL, they didn't actually recover it. So now this is our second chance. We're trying to find out what the NSF were doing here in
Except for that
Battery
one
Park.
barrel of Ambrosia, there's been no sign of the shipment.
Thank you much.
Don't tell Navarra. We've let some of the bums back into the park. They don't have anywhere to go.
So yeah, this was hinted back when we first broke into Castle Clinton.
This whole place just got shot up a few minutes ago.
Yeah, some of the homeless knew that they had a secret passage to get the Ambrosia out, and we recovered the one barrel that was there. The others have gone missing.
We sure appreciate the help tonight, Agent.
Ah, big old puffball, huh? Those are the best kinds of kitties.
We've got the secret passage sealed up, sir. They call it a bolt hole. It's probably been part of the fort since it was built.
So yeah, no getting back into the NSF little hidey hole there.
Looks like the terrorists were using it to smuggle supplies.
Mostly looking around to see if there's any loose knives or any basic weapons I can grab here. I don't think there are.
We made a sweep of the area. No sign of the NSF.
Hang on just a second. Had hit allow there. Maine Coons was throwing off the auto sensor thing. But anyway, not much else of interest beside the shanty town itself. So let's look around, and now that the NSF is cleared out, see what we can find.
We lost the battle today. I admit it. Yes, Lord.
You with the NSF?
All
And
cats are
myself in
adorable,
division,
but
mind
those
you,
especially
back
are
when
just
we were the Northwest Secessionist
perfect for picking up
forces,
and cuddling.
years ago.
You do have to be prepared for the
They
wait,
thought they had
however.
us licked, like they think they have us licked tonight. But look at me, young sir. We're God's army, and what infernal devil can stop God's army?
Well, you take care of yourself.
Found me two 30-06 clips. Now all I need's a gun, and then it's me and Satan. Yes, Satan. One last look into the devil's red eyes.
Sounds like you served God admirably in the Northwest War. But maybe you should let a soldier from the younger generation take the clips off your hands. What do you want for him?
Huh? You mean money? You want to buy 'em? Well, guess I'd take about 300 for each one.
That's adorable. So yeah,
I'll check
if we
back
were
with you
using the
later.
sniper rifle more, we could buy the clips off of him. And to be honest, I kind of like doing that, because it's sort of implied with JC,
And
but
keep it out of the way. Like
trying to
they
keep the
said.
guy from grabbing a gun and going on a killing spree is a worthwhile endeavor. And you know, it's giving the guy some money for him. Thought there was at least some lockpicks we could grab.
Oh, thank you again. My hands get so cold.
Yeah, like I said, we'll probably both get kicked out when whoever it is gets back. I live underground.
All the same.
I can think of safer places to camp. After all the fighting tonight.
Cops said I could be here. Besides, I ain't camping. I'm with the mole people.
Why the name Mole People?
They call us that because we live underground. Like they're some kind of superior beings or something because they got more money than we do.
Maybe you should join your people. Anywhere underground would be safer than Battery Park.
The moles need someone topside. And besides, it's been pretty quiet. I'd rather be here than have the NSF tromping around with machine guns.
The NSF are hiding out with the Mole People?
Yeah, they haven't hurt anybody. We guess it's all right.
I need to contact the NSF. Think you could tell me how to find the moles?
Sure. Just give me the password so I know they trust you.
Underworld.
Good. Long as they decided to give you access. Go to the phone booth in the subway station. The code's MOLE. That's 6653.
Thanks.
When you get to the Brooklyn Bridge station, talk to Charlie. He'll get you into the tunnels where we live.
Alright.
Think it's true, the vaccine they got?
So because we saved that one gentleman at the basketball court, we had the code we had the passphrase that signifies we're a friend of the Mole People. And that gives us the code we can use to get into Brooklyn Bridge Station.
You don't have to push.
And yeah, I know that feeling all too well, Kirby. I'm actually allergic to them myself. Excuse me. Hiccups there. It won't stop me from petting them. I just have to make extra sure I wash my hands afterward. God curses us by giving us cute things and then making them dangerous to us. But what can you do? I think I've checked every building.
What about the mole settlement?
Oh. Go away. Just...
Yeah. Situation is deteriorating here, and Simon's raised an interesting point. If they actually wanted to help people, they'd have started injecting it right here. Their main goal is something else. The NSF very clearly wants to get at least one bottle of the Ambrosia away. Or container, I should say. Okay. So no rides to Hell's Kitchen right now.
Thanks again for the key.
It wasn't a favor. I was well paid.
Hey.
A real patriot.
I see it like this.
It's our friend from the docks.
It all balances out. UNATCO's just as much gun freaks as the militias. And if everybody's gonna shoot it out, fine. So long as neither side wins and takes over the whole country.
The goal of UNATCO is not conquest. It's the safety of ordinary people like yourself.
I know an army when I see one. Look, I'll be blunt. Got any cash? There's a secret passage behind that phone booth over there. For 500, I'll tell you where to get the code.
I already got the code to the phone booth, but thanks.
Yeah, because we already got the code, we can tell Harley to pound sand. Metaphorically, at least. He's still a useful guy to know. And yeah, that hurts, Ivory. I feel that in my soul, that absence. Just being able to bury your face in a kitty and just nuzzling.
We think they're loading the Ambrosia onto a plane. You heard anything about that?
Nothing I could put a price on. UNATCO already thinks it's Juan Lebedev.
Lebedev?
I don't know who else it could be. He owns a whole terminal at LaGuardia. Manderley's been trying to bump him off for years.
Since when is LaGuardia for sale?
The city had some debts a few years back. There's always a buyer. But Lebedev's small time. He can't buy off the big politicians like a Bob Page.
Who does he buy off?
People lower down, but useful. Some of your buddies at UNATCO, actually.
Who?
You can't afford that one.
So yeah, that's the second mention of Lebedev before we've actually been given any instructions about him. It also gives away more of the situation of New York. Parts of LaGuardia are now privately owned, and we're looking for a terminal owned by our eventual target. Anyway, time to go down to the Mole People. Yeah, some things are worth that sacrifice. Nuzzling into a big purring puffball is absolutely one of them. Alright, So now we're at Brooklyn Bridge Station, and I don't know my geography of New York. I'm not sure if the real Brooklyn Bridge Station is within walking distance of Battery Park. I'm going to assume at least partly it is.
After the quakes, the homeless drifted down here.
Yeah, it's a neat touch.
Runaways, grifters. There's a DSS file a mile long on this place. Some of them, the so-called mole people, have permanent living quarters in an adjacent tunnel system not on my map.
Honestly, this is one of my favorite missions of the original game. Just because it starts off with kind of an investigative nature. You're trying to track down the mole people, or you're trying to track down where the NSF took the Ambrosia. And so you start out asking questions, and then you gradually go to more dangerous parts as you go through denser layers of NSF. So yeah, you're starting to get a sense of the full... You're starting to get at the deeper mysteries of the game. And you're going into more decrepit parts of the New York City infrastructure.
The doctors in that clinic, they ain't worth 5 credits.
So it has kind of a nice adventure-y feel to it. So now we're looking around, trying to see who knows anything here.
I'm looking for the mole people.
You don't want to camp with them. Trust me, they're too political.
I don't need a place to camp.
I started the mole people. I was there first. And then they made up committees that throw people out just because they don't like the way you look.
How do I find them?
Don't bother. They're elitist. And now the NSF is down there too.
So yeah, the more we talk, the more we find out that the mole people are trying to keep people with the plague out. And also the NSF are down there. For what purpose, we don't know, but almost certainly because it has to do with the smuggling. Excuse me. Sorry, a little more hiccuping there. With smuggling the Ambrosia
mole
out.
people hideout as a base.
Are you the feds? We don't need a war down here.
I work for UNATCO.
Well, the NSF come through here, but they don't bother us. If we need help with anything, it's our plumbing. We lost pressure because of the explosions on South Street.
Yeah, sorry about that.
You tell me about the NSF, and I'll put in a word with the city about the water.
The city don't know we got water, and they don't
Iced
need
coffee,
to
it's
know.
good stuff.
How about you fix it, and then I'll talk.
I don't have much time.
I would open the valve myself, but there was
JC
a
needs
cave-in.
biocells. I need my
Utility
coffee.
door's blocked. It's up at the north end of the tracks, in case you want to take a look.
Clearing a tunnel. That would require explosives.
It could be done. A lamb would do the trick. It's just that I'm not gonna be the one to talk to the rooks. They'd probably sell us one, but they don't like people going into their turf, which is the whole upper level.
Yes, I hear El Rey runs the show. So yeah, our next goal is actually finding the mole people. Up here, it's just kind of a loose homeless collective with only a few people actually affiliated with them. And to do that, we need to do a favor for that guy Charlie. Now, if we look around, there's another way to... There are actually several ways to do it. Practically speaking, we just need to find the entrance and crack it open. But...
Hold up, bro.
Let's talk to the Rooks.
You on Rook's territory now. Just so you know.
You call yourselves Rooks?
That's right. Up here, it's business. You want to do business? Talk to El Rey.
I'll keep that in mind.
You got it. Alright. Let's break stuff here. See if we can find anything we can use. Aha! A locked panel. Unfortunately, we have nothing to open it with. Going to be a lot of that this mission. Hey, there's a lockpick. Awesome. And a multi-tool. Hey, sweet. So far, so good. It is kind of nice. I'm going to start throwing props in enemies more and see what kind of damage that does. Not terribly stealthy black helicopters if they're showing up in the news. Here's one.
What's up?
Just
What's
take
up?
it easy, bro. Be cool.
What's up? There's a dated reference if ever there was one. Ah, Ah, motherfucker. Okay, I need master hacking in order to get into this one. Alright, no getting money from there. Not that far off, though.
You want to talk to El Rey? That's cool.
Oh, hey. So he's got a mascot. Nice. Alright, so they did that with more than just the troopers. I really do like that
No
touch.
one up here
It
is
makes
looking
them
for a
look a
fight.
little bit... Makes everybody look a little bit differently. It lets the mooks distinguish themselves a bit. Like, I think... Is that... Yeah, this guy actually has
Ray
some
runs the show.
facial augmentation going on. I'm just talking. Just talking. Yeah, exactly. Hey, gas grenade. Excellent. Excuse me, sir. I hear you sell illegal explosives. I'm definitely not the police.
Hey, bro, what's
Let's
with the
talk.
getup?
Charlie says you sell explosives.
Yeah? Charlie should mind his own business.
How much?
Whoa, 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 whoa. We ain't talking firecrackers, understand? What I got, it comes from a guy at UNATCO. Hardcore munitions and shit.
How much?
Sir, from one bullshitter to another, I know what it sounds like when you have no idea what you're talking about, and you have no idea what you're talking about.
Either that or you work for it. You into fighting? I need someone to take care of the dealer downstairs.
Alright. Now, I'm not sure we even can do this unless we get a weapon, but...
I'll take out the drug dealer.
We do need an explosive.
Dealer's name's Rock. He hangs out on the east side in the
So
corner.
let's at least look into this.
We're gonna be special forces for the NSF, if they give us some chits.
Yeah, good luck with that, buddy. Ooh, good thinking, Zero. Yeah. Yeah. I was just saying, I'll try throwing stuff at people. Actually... Yeah. You know what? I'll grab a metal crate. Because we want something that's not going to break on impact.
Nurse knew I was sick. She just...
The rooks, we hang.
Pardon me, just going to borrow
But
this
we
thing.
about to spread out.
Oh, there was one right there. Damn it. Oh well. Actually, I'll have a couple on hand just in case it takes more than one. Alright. Let's see if this works. Pardon me, my friend. You seem like an upstanding entrepreneurial type. Let's talk.
What you need, bro? Vials are $250.
So yeah, there's a lot of ways you can actually get the lamb. There's a couple junkies you can give Zyme vials to. One of them just happens to have one. Another one has some information that can lead you to them.
What do you know about a gang called the Rooks?
Gang? Who calls them a gang?
Just what I heard.
Bunch of pussycats.
I'm usually pretty
I
thorough
come
about
within
coming
50
through here, so I try to clear
yards,
as much of the
they
area as I can,
Seems that other
including
people
giving
aren't
the
so lucky.
Zyme vials to the
Always
junkies,
talking
but
speed, trying to be players. The junkies found a box
if you were
of
dead
lamb
set
the
on like a
other day.
non-lethal
Now, El Rey
playthrough
puts
where
on
you're
the
trying to
show of
do a
being an
specific
arms dealer.
style,
The junkies.
yeah,
Oh,
there's a
shit.
lot of ways you can
Only a
physically
matter
get
of
through
time
here.
until someone's stash disappears and people start blowing up.
Alright. Now, let's find out if this works. Actually, I'm gonna...
Rock's the name, guy.
I will
Anything you
provoke him and let him draw first. Just so it's self-defense.
Know where I can find the mole people?
Good neighbors keep each other's business private.
You want to set a price?
I'm a good neighbor. You want to buy something or not?
I'm with you, Natco. Start talking.
I ain't going back to jail.
Let's try some word association. First word, Ambrosia.
Bitch, I ain't going back to jail.
Sir, I'm no Mike Tyson, but I know a thing or two about boxing! Ha-ha! Oh, it worked! Awesome! And I get his gun. Hell yeah. Oh, that was perfect. Zero, that was a great idea. Thank you. And actually, I think that broke it. Badass. Down by knockout, baby. For good.
Hey, hey. Hey, man. You got any Zyme?
So happens I do, friend.
Take a vial.
Oh, cool. Thanks, man.
Now maybe you can calm down for a second and tell me how to get to the Mole People hideout.
Yeah, sure. They're in the tunnels.
And?
The keypad's under the sink, in the woman's bathroom. Everybody knows that.
The code?
Got me. The Mole People keep me out because they don't like Zyme.
So yeah, that's one clue about where we're ultimately trying to get to.
I heard someone found a box of lambs down here.
Grenades? Oh yeah, but they're all gone now.
Where'd they go?
A lot of people took them, but not me. I was too late.
Who? Anyone still have one?
Yeah, with my friend Lenny, except he got sick. I don't know where he went.
Anyone else?
I think most people sold him
every
to
now
the
and then the
NSF,
camera just catches
but not
the
me.
hard angles
That's
of the
why
model
I'm
and it
broke.
stands out in really
You
obvious
gotta help me
ways.
get some Zyme. Rock's all high and mighty now that there's money going around.
Alright. So that clues us in that his friend, one of the other junkies, has a grenade. And we will acquire it.
Oh.
You have a problem?
Apparently his twin brother.
I got a bomb.
A bomb's a bad
Exactly.
choice for close-range combat.
Might as well use it. Rock says I owe him. He won't even give me one vial for it.
What kind of bomb?
I think they said it was called a lamb.
Suppose I could part with a vial of Zyme if you'll give me the lamb.
You got some? Really?
Yeah. Let's see the lamb.
Take it, man. Whatever. Where's the sign?
Make it last. I killed Homeboy out by the tracks.
Alright. So at last we've got a grenade. And since we took out Rock, we get the other one from El Rey. See, it's all coming together.
Next, we're gonna move on.
I got rid of the dealer downstairs.
Yeah? You killed him?
Just another parasite.
Hot damn. That guy you just killed? He's been in my way for months.
Showing shades of Andrew Ryan
now
there.
I got the whole station. You can have the lamb. Now I can afford me a Gep gun.
Trying to progress in this game, but the parasite says no. You must side quest first. Right. Now we have the explosives. We can clear the tunnel to turn the water on. And that'll let Charlie know we can be trusted. He'll let us into the Mole People area. Here we go. The problem caused by explosions can be solved by them. Nice little bit of circularity there. Alright. Can we climb over you still? It was previously possible to get up there. It may no longer be. Exactly. It's like poetry, it rhymes. There we go. Ow, 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 ow! Okay, yeah, no. Son of a bitch. Alright, they're gonna make us use a lockpick. Don't share turnips, people. We're in a pandemic. Alright. Thankfully, turning the water back on stops the steam. And we can just jump back over there. And we've done our civic duty.
The water line should be open now.
Good.
Glad to see you UNETCO boys do something for the community.
Now can you tell me about the NSF?
The NSF?
Quite, Zero.
They took over our tunnels.
How do I get there?
Go to the women's restroom on the other side of the station. Look for a keypad under the sink. Combination's 5482.
Great. I'm glad I can help you out.
Oh boy, hold on a second. I think we got some bot invaders here. Oh well. Yeah, moving up in the world. Attracting a better class of bot. But anyway, there is one thing I want to highlight here. I'm gonna have it, how to introduce this. There's one line here that I think is one of the more important lines in the game, and it's incidental dialogue Charlie says. Let me see if he says it right out.
Be careful if there's a gunfight. There are families living down there.
That, I think, is one of the more understated lines in terms of Deus Ex's overall design philosophy. It's the idea that they didn't just create game space. They didn't create levels that you traverse through in a linear fashion, even though you do go from one mission to the next. They tried their best to create worlds. They tried their best to create environments in which people live, work, inhabit, and... like in this case, we are literally going through an encampment of homeless people. There are families down there. So it matters whether you go in guns blazing or you show restraint, because stray gunfire is actually an issue and you might hurt someone. And that encapsulates... oh, damn it. 5482. Thanks. That is a big reason why Deus Ex works so well as a game, because it's trying its best to be a proper urban environment. It's trying its best to create locations you might plausibly pass through as something other than game space. And yeah, I always kind of like that line, because it neatly summarizes why Deus Ex's world stands out so well. But anyway, now we're in the Mole People tunnels. NSF are everywhere. We need to be very careful how we proceed, because there are civilians here, and more to the point, we only have a pistol and some grenades, so... God. Also fire barrels, apparently. So... it really, really is. Hey, Orange, good to see you. There is, thankfully, a way to peacefully get through this sequence, and not necessarily by knocking every single enemy out. So we need to be real careful here.
Who was that? I didn't see a uniform.
Not the most stealthy here. I did that specifically so I could talk to him.
Nothing. I guess we're safe.
You from the feds?
Oh, wait.
We don't need any help.
Ah, fuck, they moved him. Yeah, one of the de facto leader of the Mole People was here, and he explained a little bit about the situation. But that guy appears to be moved, so we might have to hunt around for him. Yeah, he tells you a little bit about why the NSF are here and who's actually in charge down here. That might actually be him at the end of the tunnel. Let's see if we can find him. Because I kind of like the symmetry of finding the nominal leader of the Mole People, who points you to the leader of the NSF in here, and then doing your best to keep a low profile and trying not to cause too much trouble. It's not really symmetry there, but whatever. Point is, this game encourages me to think of environments in terms of in other terms than just trying to blast through them as quick as possible. And I always appreciated that. There weren't a lot of games that did that back in the day. I think that's him.
Looks like you've been overrun by NSF.
They move supplies through here. There's nothing we can do about it.
Anything recently?
A bunch of barrels came through about an hour ago. Woke us all up.
Where were they headed?
They went through the bathroom like they always do. Only way to get a key is from the NSF commander. Guy lives to the south, but I bet he'd die first.
Some of the terrorists actually live down here?
It's a secret room. You open the door by pushing a brick they keep hidden behind some cardboard boxes.
I'll have a talk with him. You won't have to worry about the NSF for much longer.
So yeah, he tells us how to reach the NSF commander, and if we can quietly get to him, then all these guys will stand down. And yeah, that's one of the other reasons that Deus Ex holds up so well. Its open approach to level design gives you a whole lot of ways to approach a given problem, whether it's a room full of enemies, or bots and security cameras, or even just trying to find the key to a locked door. There's usually multiple ways to get to it, and the game rewards creativity and careful use of your combination of your skills, your augmentations, and your inventory. So even as it gets more and more visibly dated, as the AI jank becomes easier to pick apart, there are still elements of its design that are just timeless. Okay, I think I can quietly get past this guy. If I recall right, that secret room is around here. There you are. Excuse me, sir.
I surrender.
The mole people say the Ambrosia came through here an hour ago.
I'll cooperate. Relax.
Exactly, Ivory.
Key to the men's restroom is on the table.
This better not be a joke.
We could have so much more high-res textures for the sewers.
I know the body armor looks threatening, but I'm part-time, like a reservist. I don't want any trouble.
Just in time, too. Guy spotted me. So a second later and we would have had some trouble.
Hold fire!
But now, because we talked to the leader first...
He's on the corner of the table.
They're willing to stand down.
I surrender.
And now we can safely explore the area. Yay!
Take it easy. I'm on your side.
Easy, man. I won't get in your way.
They made me do work for them.
So yeah, simultaneously, the NSF are not exactly good house guests. It's very clear that the relationship between them and the mole people is tenuous at best and kind of enforced at gunpoint. But at the same time, they're not necessarily pure cackling evil either. They're trying to do something specific with the Ambrosia, and it will make sense once we figure out the scope of their plot.
You want this stinking rat hole? You got it.
And they don't necessarily want to fight to the
You're
death
the spy,
either.
huh?
Don't look at me. I just follow orders.
Yeah, kind of an odd place to find thermoptic camo, but what the hell.
You won't find anything down here.
Definitely not going to complain there.
If you're looking for the airfield, you're gonna want to go to the north end of the chamber. They've built a secret passageway in the men's bathroom. I didn't want to fight, but I guess it turned out for the best.
Oh, sorry, Reddy.
If you're from the feds, you're a little late.
I know a secret.
Yeah?
It's about the NSF commander. You know how he gets in his secret room?
I give up.
He does something with the brick behind those cardboard boxes. It's true. I saw it.
I believe you. I was just over there myself.
Alright. Yay, puppy.
The panel's secured.
Good. The booby traps?
Installed.
Don't shoot!
I interrupted the
surrender.
conversation.
We got word. We're standing down.
So yeah, these guys talk like they're expecting you, and one of them mentions Paul by name. So yeah, more of a sense that Paul is involved with what's going on, and... Oh, rocks. Nice. And yeah, the implication, obviously, is that he's working with the NSF, and specifically warned them that you'd be coming this way. Kitty. Huh, Darth Vader.
Easy, man. I won't get in your way.
Yeah, little bit. Actually, now that you mention it, that reminds me. The guy back there. One of the mole people was like doing hacking work for the NSF and helped them find the shipment of Ambrosia. But he also tried to escape, and then they shot his cat to get him to cooperate. So yeah, the NSF, not clean-cut good guys, not clean-cut bad guys. They're kind of a complicated faction. Group that's kind of trying to do, they're broadly speaking trying to do the right thing, but is leading to a lot of messed up decisions along the way. Exactly. Once you kill kitties, you have crossed the line, and you kind of deserve what you get. I mean, you might broadly be trying to do the right thing, but yeah, that is a pretty obvious villain line. But anyway, I think what I'll do is I'll wrap things up here. Looks like we're a little after 1 over here, and I'll do the airfield mission next. So, one thing before we go. Do we want to... The original stipulation was to drop inventory when hopping in a vehicle. But the airfield is kind of its own big self-contained area, and there are ways we can grab weapons before dealing with enemies. So, if you want it to be part of the challenge, I'm willing to drop everything I've got here, which admittedly isn't much. If you don't, say so. I will leave the decision to chat. What are you thinking? Alright, 1 vote for keep it. Two votes. 1 indifference. Yeah, alright, we'll keep it. Okay. So yeah, we'll drop a hard save here. Actually, I'll move to the next map. And we're back in the sewers. So yeah, next time, we will proceed to the airfield. We'll uncover the NSS plot, what Paul's role is in it, and we will go from there. So yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. I apologize for the technical difficulties earlier, and I'll try to have this up earlier in the week. I still have to correct the uploads from last week because of the whole gamma correction issue. Tomorrow night at the usual time, I'll be playing Tokyo 42, which kind of this interesting little sort of open city parkour assassination thing. It's a little harder to describe. But I started playing it the other night, and it kind of caught my attention. Apparently, it involves, among other things, tactical kitties, and I'm not sure how that's going to work, but I'm very interested in finding out. But yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. I appreciate you taking the time. I appreciate you spending the time with me and my constantly tripping over my own tongue. And yeah, have a good night, everybody. Thanks for coming.